All right, let's dive right into this explainer and break down what is shaping up to be a truly monumental collision. We are looking at the 2026 World Cup semifinal. It's a massive heavyweight clash going down at the Dallas Stadium on Bastille Day, of all days. It's a fixture that pits two absolute European footballing titans against each other for the right to play for the biggest prize in sports. We're talking about Didier Deschamps' virtually unbeatable French squad going toe-to-toe with Luis de la Fuente's relentless Spanish side.
But to really grasp the gravity of this game, we have to start with a staggeringly important number: 38. That number represents the immense historical weight of this fixture, marking the 38th time these two nations have clashed on the international stage. In international football, playing an opponent 38 times, that builds an incredibly deep-rooted familiarity and, honestly, a massive historic grudge. This isn't just a semifinal, folks. This is the latest chapter in a multi-generational continental rivalry.
And this historical dynamic is so fascinating. Historically speaking, Spain holds a pretty significant upper hand, with 18 wins compared to France's 7, alongside 13 draws. So yes, Spain has been the dominant historical force here. But what makes this 2026 matchup so incredibly tense is how the recent momentum has been ping-ponging back and forth. It sets the perfect stage for a modern grudge match, where past statistics might just go right out the window.
Let's trace their recent tournament history, because it shows a really clear momentum shift. Now, France took a decisive 3-1 victory in their sole World Cup meeting back in 2006. But the modern era? That's been all Spain in the high-stakes games. Spain orchestrated a 2-1 comeback win over France during their Euro 2024 championship run, and then they pulled off an absolute 5-4 thriller in the 2025 UEFA Nations League semifinal. It's a rivalry that literally guarantees high drama, and now they're stepping onto the pitch for their third consecutive major tournament meeting.
Moving into Section 1, the unbeatable wall, France's fortress.
When you look at France in this 2026 context, they are, well, terrifying. Manager Didier Deschamps has built an exceptionally balanced team that is basically designed to absorb massive structural pressure. Their defensive efficiency on the road to this semi-final is just staggering. 5 matches played, 5 consecutive wins, 4 clean sheets, and they've conceded exactly 1 single goal the entire tournament. Goalkeeper Mike Maignan has been a wall, and their defensive coordination is completely ironclad.
This impenetrable barrier is heavily anchored by the central pairing of William Saliba and Dayot Upamecano. I mean, these two have emerged as an absolute elite force. They dominate aerial duels, they stabilize the team's shape during defensive transitions, and they absolutely suffocate opposing forward structures. Just to put it into perspective, in the quarterfinals against Morocco, they restricted the opposition to incredibly low probability shooting windows. It's like trying to break through a steel door.
But even though France looks unbeatable, there is a targeted vulnerability here. On the right flank, you have Jules Koundé, a super physical, reliable, elite defender. But on the left flank, opponents have found a tiny little crack. Theo Hernandez actually lost his starting spot due to underperformance, and while Lucas Digne is a really hard worker, he can be a bit vulnerable in isolated one-on-one situations. In fact, the only goal France gave up to Senegal came precisely down that left side. So this creates a fascinating tactical intrigue that Spain is going to be desperate to exploit.
All right, Section 2, the Spanish Armada and their midfield fluidity. Opposing that rigid French wall is Luis de la Fuente's Spanish side, and they are all about heavy positional fluidity and relentless high-tempo passing combinations designed to completely unbalance defensive lines. This strategy is built right in the midfield engine room with Fabian Ruiz, Pedri, Dani Olmo, and Rodri using incredible close-quarters control to dictate the pace. Then they stretch you out with elite width from young wingers like Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. And if all that fails, they have legendary late-game resilience. Just look at Mikel Merino coming off the bench to score that crazy 88th-minute game winner against Belgium in the quarterfinals. They will literally pass you into deep fatigue and strike the second you blink.
And man, they are not lacking in swagger either. Check out this bold public warning from 18-year-old creative sensation Lamine Yamal, who stated point-blank, Spain does not fear their squad. Talk about injecting some real documentary-level drama and immense confidence into this showdown, right? Yamal is a massive tactical headache for opposing managers, and he absolutely knows it.
Which brings us to Section 3, Clash of Titans, the 3 key matchups.
To predict who survives this battle, we really have to isolate the game into 3 specific head-to-head duels that will ultimately decide the outcome. Matchup number 1 is right on the flank. Jules Koundé against Nico Williams. Williams loves to hug the touchline and just drive directly at fullbacks with blistering acceleration. Koundé has to achieve absolute positional perfection here to minimize the space Williams has to cut inside onto his stronger foot. It's a classic battle of pure speed versus disciplined positioning.
Matchup 2 foreshadows some massive danger for France. Lamine Yamal versus Theo Hernandez. Well, assuming Hernandez features, of course. Hernandez is an imposing, attack-minded left back. But if he pushes too far forward on overlaps, Yamal, who is an elite progressive dribbler, is perfectly built to exploit that exact open green grass on the counter. Conversely, if Yamal doesn't track back, France could overload Spain. It's a huge tactical seesaw.
Matchup 3 happens right in the center of the park,
Aurelien Tchouaméni bears the very heavy burden of patrolling the central space, because to stop Spain, you have to disrupt their central distribution. Tchouaméni basically has to break up the rhythmic passing triangles of Dani Olmo and Pedri right in front of his center backs. If he fails, Spain is going to pin France deep, but if he succeeds, France launches a lethal counterattack.
Finally, Section 4, the final verdict, razor-thin margins.
So, after unpacking all these deep tactical dossiers, we have to look at the ultimate match winners. Because while Spain will confidently dominate possession, France has a ruthless, clinical edge, and his name is Kylian Mbappe. I mean, his tournament stats are just ridiculous. 8 goals, 19 shots on target, and 16 chances created. He is the shortest price scorer on the board for a very good reason. If Spain turns over possession cheaply in the middle third, the space left behind for Mbappe to exploit with his terrifying straight-line speed could be instantly fatal.
And honestly, the prediction markets show exactly what a coin toss this is. They're slightly favoring France at a 41% win probability, with Spain and the draw totally locked at 30% each. We're looking at a low-margin game destined to be decided by a single moment of absolute quality. France obviously has the defensive stability and the counter-attacking firepower, but Spain has proven time and time again to be the ultimate tournament team with their late-game heroics.
So here's the ultimate question. Who punches their ticket to the grand final in New York? We are looking at the absolute clash of styles in this historic 38th meeting between the two nations. Will Spain's mesmerizing passing rhythm finally break that unbeatable French wall, or will Les Bleus counterattack their way to historic glory and secure a chance to become only the third country to make 3 straight World Cup finals? Let us know what you think is going to happen, because the margins here